Welcome to Rotary and Serving Our Community. Today we're going to take a look at one of the clubs, one of the 8 clubs in the Santa Barbara area. This club is the Rotary Club of Carpinteria. And with us today we have Barry Intignep. Barry, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your Rotary experience. How long have you been in Rotary?
Well, actually, that's a good question. I'm not really sure. Maybe 10 years, I guess. I'm not, you know.
And you've been with the Rotary Club of Carpinteria that whole time?
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
great.
I think I might have taken a few leaves of absence. The reason we moved here was to be near family and grandkids, and we participated in homeschooling for a couple of years.
Great.
But still active.
Now, you said your kids are here. What do they do? As far as work-wise, entertainment-wise, things like that. Because it sounds like you have a pretty interesting family.
I do. My son and family. My son lives up in Lompoc, and he has a fencing business.
Okay.
And he was always interested in motorcycle riding as an amateur level. Okay. And now my 2 grandsons both race on a professional level. The oldest one, Addie, will be in Supercross. Maybe for this may be his 4th year, and the youngest one will be starting this year. Okay. So we'll see him on TV in January and hope for the best.
That sounds good. So what got you interested in Rotary?
There were a number of things. I think service clubs are always a passion so that you can contribute to the community. And the other thing was that my wife and I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast and didn't know the community, didn't know very many people at all. And so it was another way to learn about the community, meet members, other professionals, and then work together for common goals. So that was really the reason I picked it out.
Very good. Outstanding. Now, I realize and I understand that you are actually a fill-in. So because of the fact that Rotarians are so busy,
I'm a weak substitute.
Pat Kistler was supposed to have been here. She got called away to City Council meeting, I believe, for Goleta Library. So she's very involved with that.
Got a position within the county where she's supporting library functions. Got it. And they're hoping to do something with bond money in Goleta, so we wish them the best.
Great.
Libraries is a funny thing. I mean,
we have a picture of Pat and your current president, I believe, Richard Campos, right? Now, Pat was the immediate past president, so she ran your club last year?
Yes, past president, and she's also been active on the board for a number of years. Okay. I've taken care of PR, but a major contribution on her part is to get us grants for a public library. Okay. Actually, the very first public library in Panama.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was a project that Rotary did then through your club?
It's a Rotary project through our club, and we also had support of the Morning Rotary Club, also in Carpinteria. So financially, they were a partner.
Okay, so there's 2 Rotary clubs in Carpinteria, yours and mine.
Yes.
And you can be honest with me here. Is there any competition there, or do they work pretty well together?
I guess there's always some kind of competition, but we try to do common projects. Yeah. And as you know, I volunteer out at the National Park, and I've tried to include your club in a number of outings that we've had on trips to the island, so that's been fun.
So as far as community, I would say efforts and support, 2 clubs is great. A lot of things getting done.
There's plenty to do, plenty to do.
Another picture we have shows a picture of a holiday party. It looks like, I believe it's a Christmas party with Pat in the middle, so this must have been last year. Quite a few members there that I recognize. You have Dave Derflinger, for example, who is city manager of Carpinteria, correct?
Yes, he's been city manager for quite a while.
Okay, and then also in there I see Craig Murray, who is
president-elect, as a matter of fact.
President-elect.
And so he's very active in town.
And he is also the director for sanitation department, correct?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what his title is, but he's certainly the man.
Okay, good. So you have quite a bit of influence, I would say, in the club itself, which is, I would say, a benefit. And how do you see it as far as your club, having people like that in there? Do you notice things get done a little quicker, a little easier? Have you attracted more leaders?
Well, you probably noticed the building. So we actually meet at the Lions Club, and but it's a very, very nice facility. But along with the facility that makes it interesting is you have such a diverse group. You know, we have scientists, ministers, accountants, all types, and men and women. So all these different interests come together, and so it makes it easier to create new enthusiasm about different types of projects.
Got it.
Everybody brings their own interests, me included.
And by the way, what did you do in your working life? You said you're a docent right now, I believe, but
Yeah. Well, I've always been interested in the birds and the bees. So
okay.
when we got here, I went through the training program with the National Park and the National Marine Sanctuary. So I volunteer on the whale watching trips and lead guided hikes on the islands.
Oh, nice.
So that was kind of fun. But for the last few years, I've also been head of community service within the club.
Okay.
So that's another way to kind
That
of
is good. Give back to the community that way and organize that.
Right.
Good, good. Another picture we have here is a picture of you with a group. I believe, oh, that's not you, but a picture with a scooter
Somebody
in
bald
there.
for sure.
So the scooter, what is that representing there?
Yeah, well, the scooter is one of our fundraising projects at the Avocado Festival,
Okay.
which is a huge event in Carpinteria every year. And so we get one of the nonprofit booths, talk about our different service projects in town, and then raffle off the scooter, which turns out to be one of our bigger fundraising projects. And for the last few years, the funds have gone to the library and to the local school system to support purchasing of musical instruments.
So the high school then, the junior high school?
Actually, it's the middle school program.
Okay.
You know, introduce music
Got
at
it.
a younger age seems
Okay.
to be a major contribution to kids nowadays.
Very good. Outstanding. Another picture we have shows a group there of high school, look like seniors, that I believe is what's called RILA Camp. Was that correct on that one?
RILA Camp, we have a very active Interact Club, and we try to support a number of those. I think this was a picture of a few years ago.
A few years ago.
And last year, I think we sent 5
Wow.
kids to young high school students to the RILA program.
Great.
As does the morning club.
Right.
So both clubs contribute to making leaders out of our youth, which is, for me, couldn't be a better idea.
Right. And by the way, RILA stands for Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. So it's a leadership camp that goes over the weekend. I believe it's 3-4 days,
Yeah.
Thursday to Sunday. And kids, high school from all over the district, which is 4 different counties, come in there. There's close to 220 that attend this. So it's pretty big. So for you to send in 5, that's a great job. What did you get out of, or did they get out of it? Have they ever talked to you about what the experience was like for them? Have you heard?
We do get feedback. When the kids come back sometime later, we schedule them as part of our monthly Rotary programs, and they'll talk to us about their experience. But where I learned the most was my youngest granddaughter. I went to school in up in northern Santa Barbara County, and she really learned a lot about leadership and applied it while she was in high school. So I couldn't speak more highly of the program that they have there, just because of personal knowledge. That she really got a lot out of it.
That's good.
And used it throughout high school. She went as a freshman, actually.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Generally speaking, it's sophomores and juniors, I believe, is the
Generally
average age.
speaking, but she was still is an outstanding student. And just shows you could be a leader in high school.
Right, and I hear it's life-changing for quite a few of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if your granddaughter experienced that, but the ones I've seen, they are quite life-changing. And one example was I met a girl that was with Girls Incorporated, and they sent somebody along that route. She went over there very shy. She came back, and I go, "What did you get out of the Ryla camp?" And her response was, "I got a voice. I learned how to talk, and I could speak for myself." And I thought that was quite remarkable of a girl that age, being able to reflect back on that experience. She ended up going to New York, actually for a speech competition after that, believe it or not, in high school also.
My granddaughter did exactly the same thing.
that right?
We went to Northern California, where she was involved in public speaking events. It was phenomenal how far they can take 3 days and make such a huge difference in their lives.
Very true. Next picture we have shows a Christmas tree. I believe these are what we call the Interact students. Is that correct?
Yeah, we actually have an extremely active Interact program. We're proud to say that we started off with about 30 members. This is huge. A lot to do with our current president, Rich, who's built it up over the last few years. But something new that may have contributed to additional interest is our foundation provides a couple of scholarships, one of which has a requirement that you need to be a member of this particular group.
So it's for college-bound specific?
College-bound students,
Okay.
specifically for someone who participates in this youth program.
That's great. That is great. Are there, I would say, direction on that? Is it for tech schools? Is it for universities?
Well, so far, our students have been absolutely unbelievable, outstanding. First year went to MIT, and this last year was Harvard. And so
they needed the money.
Carpinteria has some bright students, and they need the money.
Very good. Okay, great. Another picture that we see here is this is you giving away, looks like a flute or a clarinet.
Yeah,
clarinet.
well, actually, I'm being presented with a clarinet by Linda Lang, a longtime Carpenter resident, and just retired from being director of the local Chamber of Commerce. But she had an old flute, and she wanted to donate it to our club, and it's part of our program where we're trying to collect 50 instruments to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Carpinteria. I'm pleased to say that we kicked it off earlier in the year, but so far we've got 42 instruments. And we've collected somewhere around $1,500 to help refurbish all of these instruments. So our goal is to not only refurbish them, but give them a new case, and then all of the middle school students at high school will be able to choose an instrument.
That's great. Now, you've been doing this for a while, I believe, but without I would say the 50 goal of 50 instruments for 50 years.
I think later on we have a photograph of our talent show, which has been a major success, and we've run it for a number of years. And unfortunately, the last few years, we've been able to buy brand new instruments for the school. Not only did we buy instruments, but we bought music and some storage for the instruments.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so it's great to be able to contribute to the music program. You and I were talking earlier. The development of music at an early age contributes significantly in the development of young people's minds, and music is just another avenue. So we're glad to support that.
Good. Now, before this, you shared with me that you had created a quote wish list from the middle school that was quite lofty as far as fundraising efforts. So I would imagine
we've been buying all these instruments, and we thought because this year we were able to, well, actually it was at the end of last year, but the talent show was actually in February. But anyway, with the money that we got, we thought we were really going to be able to make a dent, but realized that there was no way. And so at the end of the talent show, with a number of people that were involved in the 50th anniversary and the enthusiasm of John Palminteri, all of a sudden, we're going to collect 50 instruments this 50th year.
Wow. Another picture we see is a picture of, looks like your club planting.
Yeah, this was one of the community service projects that I planned a few years ago. And it was great. We got a number of our club members. We purchased native plants. And then with Ryla, we planted in the Carpinteria Bluffs,
Okay.
A public park.
Okay, it's a preserve, actually.
It's a preserve, actually, yeah. So anyway, that was a great project. We, sort of another way to contribute.
Good. Pretty good participation I see there. So you said you had some of the high school people there.
We had the high school people, a couple of club members. I forget now what the turnout was, but it's surprising what can be accomplished when you can get, and we'll get maybe 20 of the high school kids to show up. It's a very active group.
Okay, great. Great.
And we use their energy as well.
That's a good idea. Saves the back too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another picture we have here shows a group with some instruments. I believe this was at the.
This was at the Rods and Roses.
Rods and Roses. Okay.
Rods and Roses is in early July.
Yeah.
And so we had a booth. And we were trying to raise funds and talk about our service project. And locally, this was the big kickoff. This is when we officially started to collect instruments. And here's one of the locals dropping off. And actually, I think she donated maybe 3 instruments.
Oh, nice.
So that was great.
So that was part of the 50 instrument.
That was part of the 50 instrument drive, and you can see there's a couple of Rotarians hanging around in the background, entertaining public.
That is good.
Yeah.
Very good. Another picture we have shows, looks like it's probably your club loading up a dumpster there.
Yeah, this is an annual event that's been going on as long as the city has been having city cleanup and hazardous waste day. So our club always turns out, all hands on deck for this particular event. I know sometimes your club will come and participate, but basically it's a one day where people can bring carload after carload of all their junk. And with the help of E.J. Harrison, and one of the family members is actually a club member. So we load all these dumpsters all day and haul it off, clean up the city.
So it's Carpinteria Cleanup Day. I believe it's in the spring, is that correct?
Yeah, I forget now.
I think that's when it was.
You
I think they call it a spring clean. So.
Spring clean?
Yeah, I believe that's it. That's a great one there. And I imagine that's a lot of work for your club there.
It's a lot of work. Physical-wise, you have to pace yourself.
I'd say on that one, you should probably get the high schoolers involved there too.
Actually, we have other photographs, and we do get the high school kids to come on over.
Okay.
Because we've got not only this kind of waste, but we're collecting electronic waste. So they're usually over there piling up all the used TVs and DVRs and whatnot. And then the city with Carpinteria Beautiful, at the end of the afternoon, they'll put on a little barbecue for us.
Oh, nice.
So it's always a nice,
that is great.
nice feed.
That is nice. Another picture shows a planting team, it looks like, getting ready to plant. I believe
this was another community service project that I organized. I forget now which year it was, but the cemetery had need to create some natural privacy between their property and the adjoining property. And you can see they had sort of a privacy fence, but they needed more to go. So we, again, here what we did was purchase a number of trees, and then with the group plus more, we dug holes.
Okay. Next picture we see shows the Brewery Boys with the Rotary logo there. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Well, we have Paul, the local brewer, is also a member of our club, and this was actually Relay for Life,
Okay.
where our club was, along with the brewery, were one of the sponsors for the event, and Paul, along with another club members, are also a member of the band.
Okay.
And so the band was playing at this particular event along with everything else that was going on.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah. So it's an all-day event.
And I got to bring up this other guy here that's holding the sign of Bob
Yes,
Berkemeyer.
Bob
We
Berkemeyer.
can't leave him out of it,
Absolutely not. He's an old-time member. He's in actually a number of these photographs, and he's donated his time, past president, has also volunteered his professional help as a dentist and spent time in Africa donating time. So there's a lot of Rotarians doing different projects in our club. So
I
it's
understand
great.
he also does local clinics.
Yes, yeah.
Volunteer-free clinics to help out in the local areas. Santa Barbara and I believe Carpinteria also, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
And,
he's
and
all over.
his wife is also Rotarian, I believe.
Yes, she's a Rotarian donating her time in your club.
In my club. I'd say that's probably the major portion of the controversy between the two clubs there, right?
That is. Some family dynamics going on there.
Right. Very good. We have a couple more pictures that we're showing of, looks like your team and working with Triathlon possibly?
It's the Triathlon. One of our past presidents, Rosemary Finucci, who unfortunately passed away with cancer, but in her honor, our club continues to support that particular booth at the Triathlon. So we hand out water, and sometimes I don't see too many funny hats, but sometimes we show up with funny hats because that was something Rosemary used to do.
Ah, okay.
So that's also kind of fun as these guys are speeding by their bicycles trying to give them the water before you fall over.
Right, right. And now a picture at the of the Escuela. It's a school, I believe. This is your project in Panama?
This is a project that Pat put together
Okay.
in Panama. It's been going on now for, I would say like 4 years. Each grant is like a 2-year grant. And fortunately, one of her very close friends, work colleague, retired in Panama. And with the connections that we have there, we've actually established the very first public library in Panama.
Wow.
To date, we've got 2, and we're working on a 3rd. Now, these are in very, very remote villages where there is no electricity. So along with providing a library, and by library, I don't mean the building and everything, we may provide materials for inside the building, but we're providing basically the books and, with our connections, the librarians who live in Panama and who are helping us establish them. We've also provided solar-powered lights, another Rotary project. And we've provided all these kids with lights so they can actually read in the evening. So it's, here again, supporting youth.
Yeah.
And so this year we're going to do the 3rd library. And hopefully we'll be able to find enough energy to get another grant and then continue. And maybe with your club's help, huh?
No, without a doubt.
I want you to speak up now.
We're there for you. Yeah. Very good there, Barry. You should have my seat. I know they've been very successful. I've seen some of the pictures that have come back from the project sites themselves, and it seems like it was definitely a need for that specific area. Have you had a chance, or have you seen any members from your club besides Pat getting to go down to actually experience what that looks like, how it's getting done?
We had planned to go there last year with Pat, but Pat was president last year. There were also some family health issues, and so the whole thing kind of got canceled. But I believe that if not this year, next year when we put the new grant together, I know that I'm planning to go with a few other members and see what we've done and try to meet other Rotarians in Panama City and see if we can't partner with them to help us with this project.
Great, that's outstanding. I know she's been twisting my arm to go down also, so hopefully I'll be on one of those trips with you.
Yeah, well, that'll be great.
Last picture I have shows the talent show. So I'd like to hear a little bit about this talent show you guys do. I believe this is your big event, correct?
This is the big event. We're fortunate enough in our club to have a 501c3 foundation, and through all of our club efforts, we've been able to get a sizable endowment. The endowment actually is paying for our two high school scholarships, $2,500 each. Wow. So that's now perpetual. Plus we're supporting in smaller pieces community projects. But the big thing that we're supporting is instruments for the middle school. So through our talent show, the proceeds go to buy brand new instruments, and now we're on the 50 instruments, so we got both things going at once. But the talent show itself has been a wonderful event. We bring local talent, not only from Carpinteria, but all around Santa Barbara and out Ventura. The public theater, the Plaza Theater now has another venue. We roll out the red carpet, and all the Rotarians are dressed in the tux, and we're looking good.
Sounds good. Well, Barry, thank you very much for sharing what your club's doing. One outstanding club. I know Carpinteria has been very instrumental with the support from all of the Rotarians there. So thank you very much to you and your club. With that, I would like to first say that clubs throughout all of the areas, Santa Barbara, Goleta, wherever, are making a huge difference in their community. If you want to get involved, take a look at some of the local clubs, see what they're doing. And with that, thank you very much, and we'll see you at the next show.